Seahawks fans are still reeling from yesterday's game in Jacksonville, riddled by mistakes, key injuries, and ugliness in the final minutes, resulting in two Hawks getting ejected and a hot mess for Coach Pete Carroll to try to straighten out. Terry Holloman, co-host of the Barbershop Show and former UW running back, joins me now to resonate with us about the whole deal. And he's just, he's feeling very inward today.
Not feeling very good. I feel like I'm somewhere on the spectrum of the 7 levels of grief.
Yes. Where are you even at the beginning one?
I feel like I'm somewhere between anger and despair. I'm just not fully here yet.
Would a vodka tonic make you feel better?
That would make me feel here. I'm in the presence of greatness now, yes.
There you go. There was a little bit of discussion last night about what might make you feel better today.
Yes, and vodka tonic, absolutely. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is. Well, it's almost lunch. Here's the thing. If you want a complete rundown of what happened in the football game, try ESPN. We're just going to be dealing with the emotions of what happened yesterday.
Console each other.
2 more injuries.
Yes.
KJ and Bobby.
Yes, so there's actually a third injury, Mike Davis.
Yes,
with the rib injury. But, you know, unfortunately, the national coverage did not make a big mention of when Bobby Wagner, potentially the Defensive Player of the Year, leaves the game for the Seattle Seahawks.
It went on for a while without them noticing.
Absolutely, and I don't know how you could not notice it because the immediate next 3 offensive plays, Bobby Wagner was out of the game, and they scored touchdowns on the next 3 consecutive plays.
Right, 3 consecutive snaps. It was unreal.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
And then you have KJ Wright, who went down later with a concussion, and now he's under the concussion protocol. It's unknown whether or not he's going to be able to play next week because, you know, you have to go through a series of tests and examinations throughout the week to see if you're able to play.
Right.
So he's still questionable.
Well, I mean, it was a mess, you know, no points in the first half and all of that. But let's just fast forward to the end of the game.
We're going to skip like we normally do, skip the first half.
We're going to skip the first half. Second half happened, some amazing plays, 61-yard and 74-yard
passes. Yes,
passes for touchdowns in a position to win the game. And I actually thought, okay, there's like 3-ish minutes left. We're on our own 40.
You know, I know we want to skip past the first half, and you know it wasn't very pretty. But you look at what transpired in that first half, and look in contrast to the second half. We had gotten to a point where the Seahawks were 3 touchdowns down.
Yes.
And I had got to the point where I was going to turn the TV off because Mike Davis had hurt his ribs. The offense wasn't being very productive, and the defense was just getting gashed. 3 touchdowns in, the Seahawks make a comeback and rally with, like you said, 3 incredible passes. One to Paul Richardson, one to Tyler Lockett.
Right.
They get right back in the game. And
24-30.
And it goes to show what we've always said. You know, when you have Russell Wilson, number 3, at the helm, anything is possible at the end of the game. And they were coming from a 3-touchdown deficit in the fourth quarter to have an opportunity to win the game. It's still, you know, I think that's the one thing that we can hang our hat on as Seattle Seahawks fans.
Well, they were obviously, you know, playing with a lot of oomph in the second half. And then the oomph just got out of control there at the end.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I have, you know, this will surprise you, not played professional football, so I don't know what. I know. I look like I would. The thing of it is, I know people play on this super emotional edge, and that they are pushing it to the limits of what they can control, and then sometimes it doesn't stay under control. Right. So when you were watching all of that, what did you see from a player's point of view?
I saw exactly that. And see, as Seattle Seahawks fans, I look online today and I see a lot of people outraged and, you know, they're embarrassed about the way that this team reacted. But I think you have to take, in essence, you know, a good with the bad. This is a team that is, you know, their success has been predicated on their emotion and the fact that they play with so much passion, so much that they play right to the end of the whistle. You know what I mean? They've always said, we're going to fight to the very last second. We're going to fight for every blade of grass. So you got to take that into consideration. With these guys have fought their tails off to come back in this game, and they're in a position now where they, you know, they want to try to get the ball back until the whistle ends, and that's the way they have been hardwired. And so take that into consideration when you're looking at what happened. But also on the flip side, you got to understand, guys, you're professionals. You can't go out like that. You can't, you know, when the game is wrapped up and you're going into victory formation, you kind of have to accept it.
And if you hurt somebody and in their career, that's going to be on you for the rest of your life.
Right. Nobody wants that. I really, honestly, in my heart of hearts, from what I know of these guys, I don't think that anybody was out necessarily trying to hurt anyone or end their careers.
No, but you could under those
absolutely could.
circumstances.
Yes.
So then there's the thing with Jefferson, and I got to tell you, I don't have any sympathy for fans who throw things not out of our stands, not out of anybody's stands,
Right.
anywhere ever. These people are human beings. You could hurt somebody, and it's just such a dirtbag thing to do. So Jefferson's walking off the field. Somebody throws something, who knows what got said, and he took his helmet off and went back to talk to them, and I was like,
yeah, wait
stop.
a minute.
So where's security?
Do you
Stop.
see the size of this man right here? Who was going to, I'm surprised that they got big enough guys to stop him from climbing that wall and getting in the stands.
Well, if he wanted to get up there, he would have. He got up on the little bench thing to get towards these guys, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, where is the security and what is going on? Because that should not happen.
Right. See, and that's where I draw the line when it comes to fans and their interaction with players on the field. I just don't know what would possess you in any situation to either chirp at a guy on the field or to throw something at somebody on the field. And then, to throw beer on somebody, this is the ultimate disrespectful thing to do. I mean, I personally, I would never do anything like that as a fan, and as a player, I don't know how I would react. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans, And you would just, when somebody throws something at you, and you're thinking in your head, not only is it disrespectful, but it could be dangerous to me. It could hit my eye. It could, lots of things could happen.
And you're already infuriated by what's going on and just trying to get out the tunnel. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You asked me last night via email what I would do. Of course, I believe in swift frontier justice and those things. I'd arrest those guys and ban them from the stadium forever. You're just done.
So I read online, I don't know how true it is, I read online someone said that someone threw a head of cabbage on the field. And I'm thinking, how in the world do you get a head of
cabbage to a game?
How do you get that past security? Like, what are you doing with this cabbage? If it gets boring in the second half, I'm going to make coleslaw or something. How do you do that? What do you get?
I know. Well, here's the good news. I don't know if it's good news that we play the Rams next week, but we are at home, and if we win.
Yes. If we win, we still will be number one in our division, and we will still have an opportunity to go to the playoffs. So as bad as everyone feels today about the loss and the things that transpired at the end of the game, the Seahawks are still in a good position to go ahead and make the playoffs if they beat the Rams this weekend.
Well, we have to figure out what happens with the injuries, and the NFL says they are reviewing the end of that game, and I'm not going to be utterly shocked if somebody gets some sort of
suspension, fine.
I didn't want to say that word. I was trying to think of another word.
You know what? In my heart of hearts, I don't believe anyone will get suspended just based on the facts of what happened, with Michael Bennett at the last play.
But we can't put ourselves in that situation.
You can't put yourself in that situation, definitely.
And I love Michael.
I love Michael, too. Michael's a very passionate guy. And I almost forgot about this. All this talking about football.
There you go.
Thank you.
Cheers. Just
it's the season. It is the season.
Send it down, baby. The Seahawks take on the Rams next Sunday at CenturyLink just after 1 o'clock. We posted all the ways to keep up with Terry and his barbershop co-host, former Seahawk Marcus Trufant. Please just check our website for that and just keep an eye on Terry today. Let's just make sure that he's cared for. You're looking better already.
You might not want to keep an eye on me much after this.
Still ahead, we're going to avoid getting off track over the holidays with the help from the popular Atkins diet brand. We're back after this. Here you go.